Good evening everyone and welcome to Racing League Cup Category 3 round number 8 of the Asia Cup, the final round of the whole cup tonight and the whole series then, and today obviously the last race on F1 2019 that I'm going to be commentating over, and for once I'm going to be commentating over C3 this week. So hello and welcome everyone who's not heard my voice before, if you've just been watching C3 malarkeys instead, but hope you're enjoying everything at the moment then. And yeah, we got 12 tonight. Obviously quite a few people have already deleted F1 2019 considering that the new game is already out on the market, but it's probably one of the only league races on tonight because every other league has stopped. RLH, you know, pulling through and putting a little bit of pain into people being that we don't want to finish on a convenient week, let's just say that one, but we're finishing on release day of F1 2020 then, excuse me, with the notification then. But anyway guys, as it's the final round of the season, let's have a look at the driver standings then. It's not all done actually. There is a, hang on, let me get this right. Okay, right, King David is here, okay, and Ben is here. King David and Ben are here, so basically it is wrapped up really. So the gap is, if I'm not mistaken, 18 points. So the only way, so hang on, let me just do a little bit of math in my head. I think King David needs to get 8th. If he gets above 8th, King David wins the championship. If anywhere where Ben finishes here today then, as we now come down into turn 1 and right on board with Lewis Day as he starts his flying out then down towards turn at number 1, then turn 2 as well. Little double right-hander to start off the lap then as we go into the S's then, the S curves as we come through turn 5 and turn 6 and in towards turn number 7 then, the Dunlop curve. You want to be getting a lot of speed here, but Lurch isn't seen to push too much on this first lap then as we now come into Degner 1, taking it in 6th gear, and then Degner 2 in 3rd gear, then hits the apex on the inside as now he gets a little bit of traffic ahead, does the Ferrari of Lurch, as we now come down into the middle section, into the hairpin, and he had a little bit of traffic I believe of King David there, as it seems like he, as now Lurch comes through this middle section and up towards Spoon through turn number 12 into 13 then of Spoon, and 14 through the exit of Spoon as well then. And now out we go. Where can Lurch Day put this lap time then? He's still got a sector to go, but it's only really a few corners left on this track then. He's done the hard bit. Now it's only one massive braking zone to go, and obviously he sets a purple lap time as no one's set a lap time yet, as we now come down into the final sector then. Lurch, without any EOS left to play with, comes up to the final corner then, the hump which has been removed for F1 2020 up to line. Then Lurch will set the first lap time of the day being on 1 minute 30.016. that should get beaten by the likes of Ben and King David though. I'm expecting Ben to be the first person to beat that, as Ben is on our lap, but also his teammate Just Jazzy Jeff is ahead. What a name that is. We're going to put on the detail for the tyres as well then. I'm just going to get the stream up as well just to see what you guys have been in the comments for. So let me just get that live for you guys. Excuse me if you hear a little bit of me talking, you shouldn't. Hello Mamba, hello Shabby. Brent can be the Jerome of last season, yeah. Yeah, we won't mention that. I obviously wasn't there. I don't know what happened last season then with a certain Jerome. But, oh, Brent can, always, Jeff goes, Jazzy Jeff goes to 30.3. Oh, there you go. That's what we're talking about. Ben on the softs then. Looks like he's doing all his lap times on the softs. Sets a 1 minute 29 dead, so a second quicker. Meanwhile, Bosmot's setting a 29.4 on the medians then. 4/10 difference between the Haas and the Merc then, as we've now got Maggot on an invalidated lap then. What a name that is. I'm just going to think of Maggots and Beckett's, as now flying through Josh then comes through the final corner then. It's going to be a 1 minute 29.686, losing out to Bosmot's who's on the mediums, and Monkey Meg up to line as well. He sets an invalidated lap time. It looks like he's had a little bit of a spin somewhere, as Ahmed also has had a spin through the Dunlop curve then. A very lethal place for these drivers to really get wrong then, as Gacy said, good luck boys and girls, as Brent now is going to be the next person I believe to set a lap time then, as he comes through that middle sector as well then. Out of spin he comes, and expecting a good lap time from the McLaren here. What can we expect from him as they come through that come through 130R now, one of the most famous corners on the track? It looks like he's run out of ERS then as he now comes through the final 2 corners, then through the Casio triangle, and then up to the line Brent comes. It seems like it's going to be a 1 minute 30.7 on the hards then. So it looks like a complete difference in strategy, by the way, today. So looks like Brent at the moment on the hards end. Looks like he may be starting on the mediums then. Don't know if there's, I don't think there's going to be any rain shown by the tyres that people were on. So as people are just finishing their first laps, excuse me for a second, I just had to leave the room. I'm back now. And there you go, that's what. Why are you not on track? Yeah, Gexy, why are you not on track? Sorry. It looks like we're just going to ride on board with Armour as he comes through his lap now. I don't think he's got any front wing damage. He's going to be flying through. Same reason most people. Bad time with dinner. Okay, so yeah, Gexy obviously. Oh, he's already got the new game. So that's why he's not racing then. Obviously, maybe storage matters. That's another thing, storage as well. Well, a lot of people can't race them, but we're going to deal with 12 people. 12 people's enough. RLH law may come into perspective as well then. Obviously, if you don't know what RLH law is, small grids, really good racing. Always happens. I don't know why. And it's usually when I'm commentating as well, which makes it even better. But and obviously, I've seen quite a few races in C2 then this season. So hopefully, we should expect nothing less from the C3 drivers to give us a very good race. And there's King David, the championship leader at the moment, so it's a purple middle sector then. Will he go and absolutely smash Ben's time then? A 29 dead from Ben. Up to line then for King David in the winning. It's going to be a 1 minute 28.936, a tenth faster as well. So Ahmed got P3 as well as we were just right on board with King David then. So at the moment it's looking very good for King David then. But Bosmot has set an electric lap on the mediums, and can he replicate that on the softs, you may ask? As Phil at the moment coming around for his mediums lap, sorry, his softs lap even. He was just up to the line. He's going to set 29.4, the exact same time as Bosmot's on the mediums, exact same to the millisecond. So it seems like there's going to be a little bit of competition for about 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the grid. It seems like it's around about the same times, but now as people head out onto some soft tyres, and as Jazzy Jeff needs to be going around on the mediums, just circulating the track. It seems like he's on an outlap actually, on the same set of mediums. Then don't know what Jeff is doing here then, but now coming around the final corner, it looks like he's on an outlap as he comes up to start his lap then, and he will be doing a lap on the mediums then. Meanwhile, Maggot, the only person not to set a lap time yet, he needs to go and set a fly. I'm not sure how quick this guy is. I haven't really read up on him, but we'll get a good idea on what he's like as we come through this lap then. I'm just going to check where he's in the standings. He's P9 in the standings. He's got a few points to his name, 33 points to be exact, so he's got a good amount of points finishes then. Has he got a podium? He hasn't got a podium yet, so could the final round of the Asia Cup at Suzuka be his chance for a podium then? Looks like around this C3 standard, quite a few people have got these podiums then, so top 9 drivers have got podiums this season, which is a very good number actually. As look at that, Maggot going purple through that middle sector. Looks like he's really pushing, and could this be podium territory for the Racing Point then, as he looks to have a bad entry into the Casio triangle. Out of it though, is this going to be a good lap time then for Maggot? It's going to be a 29.6, not an amazing time, but that middle sector shows promise, I can tell you that one. So yeah, look, Bosmot and Dosh Josh not doing amazing times on the softs, but surely that will be improved later on into the session as Maggot runs wide out of T2. Our people on last, Ben on his second lap then, so we need to keep an eye on that one. Jazzy Jeff looks like he's invalidated that lap. Man like Donkey is starting a lap now. Lurch Day is on his second lap as well. It seems like everyone's on their second laps now, as Dos Josh also in the pit lane then. So Ben, I believe, will be the next person to set his lap time, if I'm not mistaken. Unless, I think that's everyone, yeah. I think Ben will be the next person to set his lap time, and that is Lurch Day round at Dunlop curb. That is a monumental spin actually out of Dunlop, and he's clear on track. C5 will have the fullest grid this week, yeah. I'm not surprised. C5, obviously, with some of the people, seems like they're not as avid as the likes of C1 to get the new game, but C1, we all try hard, so we get the game early. But yeah, Bog, you make a very good point there, is now Lurch Day needs to recover on those softs then and go again on the softs. Excuse me. He'll have another set in hand then, so he'll be able to do that then. Meanwhile, Ben is on his lap then as he comes through that middle sector now. Coming through towards the final sector, and now through the final few corners. Up the line then for the Haas driver. Is going to be into the 28. It's going to be a 28.6. What a lap from Ben there. Improving by 0.4 of a second. Very good lap from the Haas driver there. The number 13, unlucky for some. Will King David make it a little bit more unlucky then, as it looks like one of the McLarens, Monkey Meg, has lost it at turn number 5 then. And seems to have a little more of a a detour route down towards turn number 6 then, as hopefully he can get back on track. King David now starting his lap then. That'll be an interesting person to have a look on board with. Meanwhile, like I said, Brent still hasn't set probably one of his best lap times so far. Obviously that was on the hards. He's still got a lot to show to people here today then. The question is, will the alternate strategy be something that drivers may look out for here today, as that is a McLaren going very slowly with Monkey Meg, as a man like Donkey goes through, and it looks like he has done something. Obviously lost a little bit of time as King David now in his lap then. We might as well ride on board for the whole of this lap then. He goes purple through sector 1 as he's 3 tenths up on his lap so far. My goodness, King David showing what he can do now as he comes through that middle sector, as he comes down into the braking zone. Looks like he's got ABS on, as now the former C1 driver comes through that middle sector then. Obviously, I remember last season he was in C1, and he did not come into the pits a few times, so he may have had some questionable strategy, but I feel like he may have learned from his mistakes, considering he's got a championship up for grabs here today then in the Williams. Now coming down towards the elusive 130 yard then, as he gets another purple sector as well then. King David is flying around here as he comes down into the Casio triangle then. Will this be a mid 28, a low 28? We'll just have to have a look then. Up the line, it's going to be a fast one for the Williams. It's going to be a 1 minute 28.4. Look at that. Now we've got some times on the board. Ben will be quaking as he's seen that lap then. David and Ben are really showing and really setting the timing boards alight then, as Ahmed hits the grass down into turn number 1 then, and that's not going to help his grip then out of T1 then. Other people on laps, it looks like a certain Maggot is on a outlap. Everyone really else on outlaps, and Ahmed is the only person at the moment on a lap then, as we will get I'm sure before long everyone on some kind of laps then. As now it looks like Ahmed is not already on his lap then, as people will be heading out then. Excuse me for the lack of commentary during the session. I'm just getting everything just set up, and then we can go ham in the race then. Obviously need to get some water on board and all that kind of stuff. I've never been so tired for commentary. I'm literally I'm yawning. I don't know why, but it seems like King David won't be able to get another lap done unless he's going once again on those softs. That seems like the plan for King David. Oh, no, he's going to back himself into the pits then. So King David will not be sent a last lap time, as now a certain Ben heads out of the pit lane then, as now people will be starting their lap times. Maggot is on his lap. He's 4 attempts up. This is going to be a provisional 28-2 then. Through that 29-2 through that first sector alone. Then Maggot, a driver without a podium so far. He's got yellow sector 2. That is a McLaren slow. As now flying through, Maggot's up by almost 4/10 of a second here. This could be an easy 0.2, maybe even a 0.1 if he gets this lap sorted, suited and booted round the final corner now. It's looking clean from the Racing Point driver. Can he get the pedal to the metal? It's going to be a 28.8. What a lap from the Maggot there. Wow, up into P3. So the guy without a podium could be well on for a podium before we know it. As we now see Josh retiring from the session there. He's lost that at T4. We see man like Donkey. You'll have a good view of it. Oh, he's lost it badly at T4 there. Jesus me. So yeah, it's in all sectors there. I don't understand why, but it seems like other people are slow. And there's a certain Brent. He's still on his out lap. Monkey Meg on his lap then. As everyone seems to be really on their laps now then. As the next person to cross the line should be Brent. But after that, we have got just Jazzy, Jeff, no, so that's Ben. Ben will be on his flying lap before we know it. And then in behind that, we do have a Alfa Romeo of Ahmed, who is looking like he's about to do another lap then. That would be my hypothesis of what is his next move then. As Ahmed now is going to be psyching up for another lap. He's got 25 seconds to make a choice. And it seems like he is going to go again, is Ahmed, for another lap then. He obviously did not do well on that first lap, hitting the grass, but now he's going to go and fly for it. And now a man like Donkey, he won't get to the line in time. Neither will Bosmots. They've left it too late. The Mercs have left it way too late. So Bosmots, oh, he's lost it. Both Mercs don't make the line then. Oh my. Both Mercs going to be compromised dearly on their position. They just didn't make the line. What a shame for the Mercedes drivers then. Other people's on laps. All right, Ben loses it. Oh, Ben's lost it, and that's surely going to be Ben's lap time down the drain. Then other people on laps, and that was Ben completely out of it now. Phil is on a lap at the moment. He's up on his lap time. Let's have a look. What can Phil do on the soft tyres then? Up to the line for the Ferrari driver then. And will he go faster? Yes, he does. A 29.25 then. Other people on laps. Brent. Oh, Brent rides over the curb, and that's Brent invalid. Brent's going to be starting down in P11 highest then, as he doesn't get a good lap either. Then in behind, we do have just Jazzy Jeff and Ben. Obviously, Ben has invalidated his lap. Jeff also not on a fast lap as well then. Both passes not having a qualifying to be proud of then. In behind, we do have Monkey Meg, though, who heads into the pits as well then. Ahmed, also slow. And that is the most anticlimactic qualifying you will ever see. As now, seems like that is done. Bulls never made my last run. Yeah, looks like quite a few people didn't make their last one. Then obviously did not get out of the pits in time. The Mercs being the biggest losers from that. Let's say that, as man like Donkey and Bosmont's down in 6th and 7th. We'll be looking to get up the grid then. Let's have a look at what they said in the C3 chat then. First and second. Oh, look at that. That's a. I don't know how he's been hit there. Being hit by another car. That's a. Is that? Yeah, it looks like the two Mercedes have collided. Look at that. What the heck has happened there? Man like Donkey in the wall. And yeah, that's not how a certain Bono would like his car to be seen at the end. But now it's the end of qualifying, and a certain King David is on pole then, as we come up to the results then, as both Mercs not going to be happy. Neither is the Ferrari of Lurch then, but King David is your pole today by 0.2 of a second. Ben is in behind in P2 with a 28.6. In behind we have Maggot in P3 on for his first podium of the season potentially, if he gets the race all right then. In P4 will be Phil, P5 will be Ahmed, P6 goes to Man Like Donkey, P7 is Bosmos. Both Mercedes will be wanting so dearly to improve their lap times. Then Dos Josh in 8th, followed by Lurch Day in 9th for the Ferrari, not being able to set his fast lap. Jersey Jeff in 10th, and then behind them are the two McLarens of Brent and Monkey Meg then. And then that will be getting ready for the racing. 28.4, not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Very good lap actually from King David. They obviously, I'm not sure whether I'll put them in C2, C1, but we'll have a look tomorrow then in C2, because it seems like there's going to be a good enough grid to host a C2 race then. But 12, we should be able to get some good action in today then for these drivers. RLH Law comes back and hopefully he will come back good. Excuse me a second, I'm just going to listen to this voice note. Right then, as we now come on to the formation lap of the 27 laps around this circuit, and it looks like it's a very dull day here. As let's have a look at what the McLarens have done outside the top 10 then. They've gone onto the medium, so they're going alternate strategy. So Bosmos is probably in a very good position here today then. If you can stay onto the back of the pack, he could be in a very good chance of going well in this race then in that Mercedes, as he now comes through the first sector. Excuse me there. As yeah, the two Mercs, I feel like will be the dark horse in this race, and obviously not the 2020 black livery, but yeah, they're not really dark horses, they're silver horses. But what can Brent do? We didn't really see a good lap from Brent. Obviously set his lap time on the hards. I don't know how Brent will cope with this race, but let's have a look where Brent is in the standings. Yeah, why would C2 not have a race? It's a grand finale tomorrow. And Brent, where's he in the standings? Brent's in P7 with 2 podiums to his name. So could Brent make it a third from someone outside the top 10? That would be an ask. But I'm sure the McLaren is up to it today then. In behind Monkey Meg, what can he do as well? But anyway, Brent at the back of the grid. But let's go through just one more time. King David, obviously, I know he was a good holder upper in C1, as he didn't put underneath the safety car. So let's see if his strategy has got better from last time out in season 6. Then Ben in P2, he'll obviously be wanting to clutch the championship, to clinch it away from King David. 18 points separates them. So Ben still has an outside shot at it. So King David does have a poor race then today then. Maggot in P3 as well. What can he do out of all of this? Obviously, first podium of the season is up for grabs for the Racing Point. Phil in P4. He'll probably come out from nowhere. Ahmed P5. Not really sure what he can do, but hopefully he can keep that consistency up. P6 is Man Like Donkey, and P7 is Bosmont on the mediums then. Seems like he's left a massive gap actually, and then Dos Josh in behind as well, leaving a bigger gap for the last 5 cars on the grid then. And then we will get racing very soon then, as Brent and Monkey Meg line up on the grid then to start the final round of the RLH Asia Cup for Category 3. 12 drivers. Will it be RLH Law here today for C3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights at Suzuka, and it's lights out away we go then down towards turn number 1, and already looks like King David has had a great start, and Maga up into P2. Ben's had a shocker, and now all the way down in P4 by the end of turn number 1 then, as everyone else files through pretty well, as Lurch down into P10, as it looks like Brent has got past, as already Suzuka putting a spanner into the works for the certain Ben down in P4. Then he really needs to get a move on if he's going to get anywhere close to King David in this race. And as Maga had a great start, or was it really Ben's bad start then, as the likes of Bosmont has got up a position as well then early on in this race. Is now looks like everyone through Degan one as Josh has hit the grass on the outside there, as Lurch Day tries to go up the inside of Brent, but that's not going to happen there into that corner, as Monkey Meg now tries to make use of that, and it looks like he's backed out of that one. So now Lurch and Monkey Medic at the back of the field, just holding on to their front wings there. It seems like everyone is just a little too conscious about their front wings early on in this race then, as at the front it's only a 3/10 gap, as it looks like King David isn't really getting away from his competitors here today. Then that what he needs to do, he just needs to finish around P8, P7, so anywhere near the top he will be loving life. So you could even afford probably get a front wing change and probably still have a good shot of doing well in this race. And is now Maga getting very close to the back of King David as we come towards lap number 2 then. It seems like already everyone's very close, as oh, yellow flags, and that is safety car. Bosmos out. Bosmos has lost it already. So the outside shot, I thought, the dark horse of this race, is out on lap 1, probably due to the bump. We're down to 11 very quickly in this race, and we did not even get to see Bosmont complete a single lap then, as the safety car is now out and it's already collected everyone then. So that's good. So it'll probably be out for only 2 laps then. So let's have a look while we're waiting at the graphic which shows the position changes then. So up 1 position is Maga, up 1 is Ahmed, down 2 is Ben, down 1 is Phil. So both Ferrari power cars had a bad start there. Man like Donkey staying in the same position as Bosmont's retired. Everyone else up 1 more position than they would have been, as a certain Bosmont has retired then. So the best starter so far has been Ahmed, up to P3 from P5 then. Right then, so safety car lap 2, and it seems like at the moment no one should be pitting unless there is any spots of rain then. Not a lot happened so far in this race then, as it seems like everyone just had their front wing dry then. Bosmont's leaving the session then after not really the best of starts then for the Mercs. Mercs down to 1 driver immediately. So if we just have a look at the standings then, Bosmont's was in 3rd place then. So Ahmed could get past Bosmont's for 3rd in the championship. Man like Donkey won't be able to get past, but unless he gets the fast lap and also wins the race. And as Josh picks up a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Man like Donkey. Does that mean he's got damage on his front wing? Yes, he does. So Josh early on this race loses a bit of his front wing and also picks up 5 seconds. So I assume he'll be heading to the pits at the end of this lap then. And there you go then, Josh heading to the pits. Get it slowed down, lad. He gets it slowed down just in time, 50 miles an hour, and he will be heading to the pits, as well as Jazzy Jeff and Monkey Meg. Oh, a change of tyres. Seems like Jazzy Jeff's just going onto a different set of tyres then, and Monkey Meg goes onto the hards. Jazzy Jeff onto the onto the mediums then. Monkey Meg onto the hards, and Josh onto the mediums as well then. Looking to go long in this race while other people are on those soft tyres then. As it seems like we've got a comment in the stream then. Bosmont is out. Big lag sent him into a wall. Oh no. So lag spikes cost Bosmont a good chance of holding that P3 in the championship then. So that'll be a shame for the Merc driver, and hopefully F1 2020 will bring in bigger and better things then. As now Josh will try and get back up. As now, seems like everyone is just holding at the moment. There's not really much to talk about. Not really much action has happened so far in this race, but hopefully F1 2020 can sort out these lag spikes, which cost Bosmos a good chance of finishing well in this race. And will the safety car come in at the end of this lap then, I'm wondering? If it does, then I'll be a very happy boy. 24 laps of racing, the softs will still be able to have a little bit of strategy then. Will the safety car go on for another lap then, or are we coming in at the end of this one? King David just hoping. Looks like, is anyone warming up their tyres? There's Ahmed warming up his tyres, and there's safety car in this lap then. So as Ahmed played the good game here, as Ben down to P4 then. Maggot in P2, so a very good chance of doing well in this race then. So it's David, Maggot, Jazzy Jeff and Monkey Meg exchange positions there, as everyone just gets very close at the back of the grid then. Went up to P7, he's had a good start, obviously on the ultimate strategy, been able to help on the mediums then, as now I believe King David will probably go right now then, as we're back to the green flags any moment. Now then we're under green flag conditions, and as we now come down towards turn 1 once again, will anyone try and make a move? We're running on board with Ben right now, who really needs to get a move on if he's going to get anywhere in this race, and with Ahmed ahead of him. Other places, looks like not much movement in the back of the grid. Looks like Josh potentially, he's still got his front wing intact, so does Monkey Meg. Seems like they may have been in a little bit of a tussle, as Monkey Meg already losing 2 seconds, maybe potentially because of the hard tyres. They're not really suiting his car, not really suiting the car in general, maybe the slow speed corners as well, not helping those hard compound tyres through sector 1 alone then, as King David up front has the lead at the moment, as Maggot in behind will be looking for a way past to potentially make the first podium of the season, the win of the season, as we come through that middle sector then. As now Maggot heads down towards Spoon then. These two always a second ahead of Ahmed now. Ahmed, who needs to get 4 points to get P3 in the championship then, as his rival of the season, Bosmont, has retired from this race, and he just needs to get the car really across the line, as Maggot has hit the certain gravel on the outside there. Meanwhile, Ben in behind 9/10, not been the greatest restart from the house driver, potentially due to a certain tyre temps. I'm just checking tyre temps, I can see them around about 90, so Ben should be fine in terms of tyre temps. Seems like someone's front right of Ahmed is getting pretty warm as well there, as now King Davis hits the first lap of the race then, as he's going to be flying down towards T1 for another go then, as Ahmed gets very close to Maggot then. Maggot hits the inside curve there and almost goes round, but somehow saves that. Must have been a Code Brown moment there for the Racing Point, as now King David has got a second lead, as now Ben is really back into DRS of where he needs to be then to close up towards Ahmed then. I don't know what Ben's strategy is here today then. Stay out of penalties, stay out of everyone's way, potentially just hope that King David does get a few penalties to his name. As now Brent and Lurch is just digging a 1, gets past Brent. Lurch coming back up the grid very quickly then, as now Brent loses it a bit on an exit, as Lurch had a very good restart. As now flying through down towards Spoon once again then. Seems like there are 2 real packs out here today, and man like Donkey 1.3 seconds ahead, behind the front pack then. But it seems like the front pack has split then between Maggot and Ahmed then, so there's going to be 2 trains unless Ahmed can close that in the next little while. As now Ahmed now 1.2, so he's not going to be able to benefit from the DRS, which has been enabled at the start of this lap. Then Ahmed now coming down towards T1, and looks like he's going to be pretty defenseless if he does if Ben does get anywhere close to him. But Ben at the moment doesn't seem to have the right setup potentially in mind, as he's not really been flying as we've seen in other races. And he's been, oh no, Maggot's off! Maggot's off! Oh, he's lost it. Maggot was having such a good race, and look at that, that's the McLaren off as well. That's the McLaren of Brent. They've come off at the same corner then, and look at them. Surely that's a VSC or something. And look at that Monkey Meg as well. 3 people off in one corner then. Oh my, Monkey Meg off as well. What is that? What has happened in Sector 1 there? My goodness. All 3 of them. As Clara don't have to play this game anymore. What a joke. Yeah, she's like, oh, that's Brent off again. The McLarens at the back of the grid having the worst time of their life then. What the heck has happened there? My goodness. So now 9 people at the front, only 5 really in a chance of winning this race at the moment. I would say that may go down to about 3 within a few laps time, but at the moment it's King David, followed by Ahmed, followed by Ben, followed by Phil, followed by Man Like Donkey. Then behind we've got Lurch. Will he be trying to close up towards Man Like Donkey? That is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Goes deep into the Casio triangle. Then in behind we do have Jazzy Jeff, who's right on the back and could be making a move on the Ferrari very quickly, but he doesn't have much EOS to play with, unlike Lurch Day. He does have the DRS though, which could be vital for this move down towards turn number 1. Jazzy Jeff on the inside then, and that is a move for P6, and a good move from the Haas drivers. Ferrari versus Ferrari. It looks like the Haas powered one, no, the Ferrari powered Haas, sorry, excuse me, has taken the dub there today, as Maggott gets a 5-second speeding penalty as he heads into the pits then. And it looks like Brent as well. Both McLarens no damage, but did have that spin as Maggott did get damage from that incident then on his own. So no one caused that. The Irishman won't be happy with that one, as he was in P2, and now he's just going to be hoping for a late safety car then as he goes out onto the hards for the end of this race, and those will make race distance. But will it matter? In 20 laps time we'll have to have a look, wait and see on that one. But King David at the moment very 1.2, 1.3 behind, and this race is just going into Ben's hands by the minute, as other people are just flying out of it. The likes of Bossmots, who could have been challenging at the end of the race, the likes of Maggott, and also Brent, who was coming through the pack, is not really coming through the pack as fast anymore than as certain turn 5 really turn 5 and 6 really did play a bad role then, as Ben now coming through the Casio triangle for the 7th time this race then hits the bump there, as Maggott picks up a penalty at Degner 1. Seems like Ben not really gaining from that DRS, and Ahmed also trying to push. He's inside that DRS to King David, so all those guys pretty close together now. And then, oh, look at that, Ahmed hitting the grass then as well. Not too positive then for Ben so far. He'll be just wanting to get ever closer then. I feel like this race will be centered around the Haas driver then, as also the other Haas driver will be in a lot of battles then with Lurch, as that Ferrari versus Ferrari powered engine battle is still going on then between the two of them. Jazzy Jeff taking a different line into Degner 1 as they both come down towards Degner 2, then out of it they come. 5 tenths of the gap, which could be vital at the end of the lap. It's only 4.5 now as they come through the hairpin. It's literally only called hairpin, it's nothing else. A bit like the one at Hockenheim, which is also called hairpin, following the Parabolica. But anyway, out of the hairpin, looks like Jazzy Jeff has been able to get the traction that he needs to pull a little bit of a gap on Lurch Day. But in terms of EOS modes, Jazzy Jeff needs to be saving, as now he's going to be playing the defensive game then as they come down into towards the final sentence. As now they come down into the final few corners, and it looks like Jazzy Jeff has pulled away a tiny bit from Lurch, as now that's the first person into the pits then. Phil at lap 9, going to be doing 18 laps on the mediums, and that'll be a risky call. But Phil now out of the pits of Ferrari, going early, long on the mediums then to the end of the races now. Look how far he is ahead of the McLarens of Monkey, Meg and Brent. I thought Brent was ahead. Don't know what's happened there. The McLarens not having the best of races so far. Then they are up positions, but not where they'd want to be right now. Like the likes of Man Like Donkey. It seems like it's a 3-horse race now for the race win then. Between Ahmed, who's actually got past King David. Excuse me, I missed that. Oh, really sorry guys, I missed that. But Ahmed did get the lead, as I probably was dozing off or something. But Ahmed has taken the lead of this race. I'm really sorry I didn't catch that on camera, but I will catch any other moves. It must have been while I was looking at the Lurch Day Jazzy Jeff battle, or looking at Phil in the pits. I am really lucky on the commentary side tonight. At least you guys have a commentator. But looks like there's been a movement for the lead, and will that lead change once again? Then look at this, is one by one through 130R. Then looks like Ben is really just holding on here. Is now King David will be looking for a way back past the Alfa Romeo of Ahmed, the one who spun in quali down at Dunlop. And it seems like, look at that, Ahmed with the fast lap of the race as well as the lead. So we'll try and be leading as many laps as possible now. Will the Alpha drivers now down towards the first sector? So Man Like Donkey comes out as now that's Lurch Day again on the back of Jazzy Jeff. Where's Phil and Man Like Donkey? So Man Like Donkey coming down the pit lane then. Where is Phil? Phil's coming around the final corner. These two are going to be very close at the end. And still, they're going to be going side by side, I feel like, out of the pit lane then. Man Like Donkey actually just a bit behind. So Phil does take P7 then, ahead of Man Like Donkey by quite a margin then. But the question is, can Phil close up to Ben, King David and Ahmed? Obviously, all those guys have to pit then. Will the undercut work for Phil then? He's made a risky strategy call, but will it work then? As now, best, very good actually from Jazzy Jeff so far. Obviously, he's on the medium, so he's doing the alternate strategy. But good race from him so far then. If we go on tyres, so the top 3 on 9-lap old tyres. Jazzy Jeff obviously pit underneath the safety car, I believe. That's why it shows 7-lap old tyres instead of the 9 on Lurch Day's car. But it looks like King David now in his zone now, as he looks like he's getting very close to the back of Ahmed, but using all the EOS in the process as he runs a bit wide through the Casio triangle then, as Ben is going to be pouncing as now King David heads into the pit lane then, and now Ben has got a pounce. He's going to have a very good lap, as I assume. Next lap will be Ben's lap to head into the pits then, but where is Phil in terms of Ben then? So we're going to ride on board unless any other action does occur then. Where is Phil? Phil's down in P7 as Ben into the King David into the pits now. He was P2, so it looks like Phil will be coming out behind King David, as now David heads out the pit lane. And look at Phil, yeah, he's halfway down the pit straight, so going to be about 2-3 seconds in that, maybe even 4.5 actually 3 seconds as we now head down into turn 2 then. So I'm not sure if Phil's gained a lot there or lost a bit, but let's have a look. I feel like that will be really made clear when the likes of Ben pits then. Ben, obviously, this will be interesting. Will the undercut or the overcut work then? Obviously, King David was in between these two. So now Ben has had an attack lap then, as he runs a bit wide. This yellow 6-1, that's Brent off. So Brent bottling once again. Not being amazing. Those S's and Brent have not got along well, as Brent now lost a bit of front wing as well as that, so he won't be happy with himself on that, as he's going to lose out on 10th position there for the time being, as Ahmed surely will be heading into the pits at the end of this lap. Then as he rides over the curbing of the Casio triangle, will they both head into the pits? No, Ben stays on for another lap then. He's going for the overcut, the real overcut there. So where will Ahmed come out in terms of King David? That will be an interesting feat to put into perspective then. I feel like King David's had a very strong outlap. Gain a bit of time to fill then. So now it's a question of where will King David come out? It looks like he's probably going to be ahead actually. So now Ahmed entering the end of the pit lane then. You can see Ben, oh, there's King David, and there is Ahmed. So it looks like the overcut has worked for Ahmed, as he keeps P for the provisional lead of the race then. So King David's undercut did not work to perfection there for the Williams there. Claire Williams not getting the strategy right today, as we now fly through that middle sector, towards the middle sector, excuse me. As now King David, fresher tyres though, could play fresher tyres for Ahmed, could play a role later into the race. But at the moment, it's all about the tyre temperature, and King David surely will have that over the Alpha at the moment in time as he warms up his tyres in these overcast conditions. Then, meanwhile, just Jazzy Jeff and Lurch in their own little battle, both on the mediums. Then it seems like Lurch has got a lot of EOS to play with, unlike Jeff. Then, so these two will be really battling it out to the line. I feel like this will be an all race battle then. Meanwhile, King David is just trying to get past Ahmed as Ben stays on for another lap. Then he's going very long in this race on those softs then. So let's have a look at the gap then. So the gap to Ahmed is 20.8. Let's have a look at that, how much that changes in the next lap then. That'll be really the changing point in this race then. It's going up to 20.7. It's around about the same. He's lost about a tenth in the first sector then so far. Actually, out of the final sector, is now they enter the first sector. Then Ahmed, Ben really needs to push now. He's going long in this one, as at the moment he's just hoping. I don't know what Ben's hoping for really, as it's 20.7. The gap's staying about the same, so potentially this could be the right call for the Rich Energy Haas car. Obviously, Haas have a completely different look in 2020 then. Obviously, back to their normal liveries. It now fly through down towards Spoon then. Turns 13 and 14 for Ben. Gap is now 20.5. He's lost about 3 tenths so far this lap, as he obviously was behind Ahmed, and now the gap between Ahmed and King David is around about a second. 9 tenths of a second now. So will Ben be able to slot in between? We don't know how long pit stops are around here, but surely Ben, if he plays this right, will have a good shot of doing well as he now comes through the final few corners. Will he head into the pits? Yes, he does. So Ben, after 13 laps on those tyres, heads into the pits and he stays underneath 50 miles an hour, then heads onto the medium tyres for the end of this race. And he's going to have very fresh tyres for the end of this race, and will maybe be pivotal. As let's have a look where Ahmed is, and Ben heads to the end of the pit lane. Then where is Ahmed and where's King David? Where is Ben? Has Ben made this work? No, he's not. Ben is going to be losing positions then to King David and Ahmed. So the overcut hasn't really worked how Ben would have wanted. He hasn't gained any positions out of it, but my goodness, are his tyres going to be in better condition come lap 27 then? And that could be pivotal, as it looks like King David's made a mistake, and so has Ben on those cold tyres. Then seems like he's not really enjoying the cold tyres so far in this race. About a second already. He needs to really warm up those tyres quickly and get a move on. Get used to those tyres now. Jazzy Jeff is leading this race on the alternate strategy then. So now Ben just within a second of King David then. 1.7 to Ahmed, so Ahmed has taken a good lead in this race then, obviously. I think securing P3 now in the championship. He can't make P2, but it would be nice for a race win for him today then, as he flies through down towards 1 at 30 yard. The gap's 1.6, so now it looks like King David has lost a bit of pace that he had at the start of the race then. Seems like the mediums aren't really treating him as well as the softs were, as he now comes down into the Casio triangle. He's not got a lot of EOS to play with, unlike Ahmed. Ahmed saving his EOS as well, now burning it down the straights, as he does not have the DRS to play with. Ben just had the DRS to play with, as Ahmed sets the fast lap for the race, and Ben goes and uses that DRS, and he will be trying to get closer towards King David then, as he comes down into turn number 1 and 2. Meanwhile, up ahead, Josh and Lurch Day in a little bit of a battle as well then, as it's all 3 Ferrari power cars lurching around that top 3 then. Obviously I've used Lurch's name there, hello. But it seems like these guys all really hitting the top 3 as Lurch goes wide there, and surely there'll be a chance for Josh to get past, and is now coming down into the braking zone of the hairpin. Somehow Lurch has held on to that one, running super wide out of Degger 2 then. Probably misses braking point a tiny bit there, and now Josh is getting ever closer to Lurch Day. They won't be going side by side into Spoon, probably for the better. As Josh runs wide, and that will probably be a warning added to his race. And he loses the car a bit there. As now down the back straight he goes, using all the ZOS to play with as Lurch in free. As now it seems like pit lane is going to come open pretty soon for these drivers. Then seems like Jeff and Lurch Day's pit window is now. So will Jeff enter pits? No, he doesn't. Will Lurch enter pits? No, he doesn't. So even though it's on, it looks like they're not boxing then. In behind Ahmed, only 6 seconds behind Josh now. And then in behind that as well, 1.7 seconds between Ben and King David. Now Ben is really on the back of King David, and will this be a move? It's between first, second in the championship, and now it's for provisional second and third on track. Then around the outside Ben goes, and still King David on the inside. Doesn't look like the outside is really the best place to make a move around here. Ben now has to sit in behind for most probably another lap then, unless he can get a move done pretty soon then. So obviously Ben now just in behind, flying through 150 through a corner. You wouldn't expect that in any kind of road car. I wouldn't expect that anyway, because you just don't have the grip like these Formula 1 cars have. As they now come through towards the hairpin. Will Ben try and stick a dive bomb as King David goes to the inside? Defensive moves from him today then. King David holds that position for now. He's good at holding Ben up at the moment, but Ben is on the attack then, it seems like, from the Black Panther in the skies then. Obviously on much newer tyres than King David. These two for the championship. If only they were a bit closer on points than 18, then this would have been really interesting. There's Ben now getting very much closer to King David. He may try down into 130R then. They're going to go side by side into 130R then. Ben up the inside of King David for provisional P2, then P5 on track. And that is Ben. A very good job there of getting himself up into provisional P2. And now it's a chase to see if he can get down on Ahmed then. Let's have a look at penalties. It looks like there's been exchange at the top. Excuse me there. Hopefully you can still hear me. Just going to have to check this, as it looks like there's been an exchange for P1 then. Yeah, so you can still hear me, which is good. Lovely jubbly. As it seems like Ben will just be trying to push on now. And let's have a look at these penalties then for the top drivers then. Ben, at the moment, with 2 warnings to his name then. Ahmed, no warnings to his name. And King David, no warnings to his name. So Ben's the only one with warnings. Looking like he's pushing track limits a little bit more than the other two. But at the moment, it's all in the hands of Ahmed. Seems to be winning on this one, saving EOS as well. Ben has been closing this lap, and it looks like King David just doesn't have the pace in this second stint then, like he did in the first one. Out of a second race now. Seems like not many people are in that second race. It's Josh and Lurch Day. Very close together on track. Josh, we want to get past the other England in another Ferrari, then down towards the Casio triangle. Lurch goes deep into the corner. Maybe a little bit of a switchback. Good exit from Josh. Lurch heads into the pit slow as Josh stays out on his medium tyres. He surely can't go to the end of the race on those tyres. He surely can't. Those tyres will burst, and as Ben says fast after the race, he's really now putting on the pressure on Ahmed. 2.4 seconds is the gap now. Up front. His teammate obviously pitting now. Lurch staying behind. Man like Donkey though on the mediums. Pitting on lap 8. No, lap 10, excuse me, not lap 8. The earliest pitter gets past Jazzy Jeff there, but obviously will now be vulnerable to the soft tyres. Monkey Meg obviously a bit too far behind, so is Maggot and Brent. They just need a safety car to come out, otherwise they are kind of screwed here today. So guys, in the comments, let me know who you think is going to win here today. And now Josh comes through. And it seems like Jazzy Jeff is right on the back of Manline Donkey. Actually, excuse me, lads. I need a nap. I need a siesta. I don't know what the Japan for siesta is, but now anyway. Meanwhile, this should probably wake me up. Jazzy Jeff trying to go around the outside of 130R. Manline Donkey is pushing him to the outside. Surely not around the outside of 130R. Oh, Manline Donkey goes off the track then. And somehow, just Jazzy Jeff makes that a cleanish move into the braking zone of the Casio Triangle then. But Dos Josh now enters the pits then. We'll have very, very new tyres at the end of this race then. Where will he come out? We can see him at the end of the pit lane. Where is his pit? There he is. He's going to come out behind Lurch then by quite a while actually. By about a second. Oh no, Dos. Wow, what a save there from the Alfa Romeo driver. I was about to say Haas. But guys, in C3, whoever's in the comments, who do you think is going to win this race then? We've got Ben closing up to the back of Armin. It's around 2.6 at the moment with 8 laps to go. Then Ben's on 2 laps. Younger tyres, so at the end of the race this could be pivotal. Obviously Ben has 2 warnings to his name as well then, which could make the difference at the end of this race then. It's like King David's really falling off the pace now. So it's between Ben and Ahmed it seems. If anyone is in the comments, please let me know, chat. Who do you think will win then? Who do you think will win this race? If I was to guess myself, I feel like this could be a charge from Ben then. He'd only be 10 points behind at the end of the championship then. Seems like this is the only race being streamed right now. Yeah, what a shame. I thought there was a Romania race being streamed, but sadly there is not. But Ben anyways. There's another Romania races. Yeah, there is. Don't know what happened to the Romania race. Is it finished? I think the Romania race got cut short, it seems. I don't know what's happened there then. But it seems like Ben's actually streaming his race then. Go on, Ben. I'm watching Ben stream as well then. Seems like I can see what is happening. I'm just going to hear Ben's talking in the stream. Oh, I'm running on board with Ben as well then. He's giving us a little bit of commentary. I'm having a little bit of fun here. Ben closing in ever so slightly. He said it all well there. 7 laps to go. He's in a good mentality as Ben. I've just been on the stream. Excuse me if you didn't hear that. But all still to play for according to Ben. He's just got to keep it clean and potentially he could have that P1 to his name then. And now it looks like Dos Josh on the softs. Finally he's going to get past man like Donkey then. They're going to go side by side down towards 130R. Seems like the overtaking opportunity in C3 is. Look at that once again. Man like Donkey hit on the outside then. Down towards the Casio Triangle. Man like Donkey once again. At 130R, lads. You got a straight right ahead of you. Why did you do it at 130R? But now, that is Dos Josh ahead of Man like Donkey. And now Lurch sets the fast lap of the race then. Closing in on just Jazzy Jeff. 6 laps to go then in this race. All to play for according to Ben. Only one mistake and this could be Ben's to win. Look at that then. Gains 2 tenths through the Dunlop curve alone then. 1.8 is the gap. It's closing lap by lap then. Let's have a look at the then. So Ben's last lap time was a 32.9. No, that was Ahmed, sorry. 32.9. 32.9 from both drivers then. They're still very equally matched on top. Will Ben be able to take the win here? It's 1.6. Looks like Ahmed's not really coping well with this lap. Looks like Ben's on a lap of dreams here today. Looks like he's gained 6 tenths in this lap alone. He's had a great lap. Seems like he's got a little bit more motivation on his side potentially. Ben just pushing on. Gaps about 1.5. Seems like potentially Ben may have a little bit more of a draggy setup than Ahmed. Seems to be that Ben has got a little bit more front wing potentially than his competitors then, as Ben now Let's have a look at these two last laps then. Ben set a 1 minute 32.7 to Ahmed's 33.7. So a second caught on that lap alone then. 1.4 is now the gap. It's going to be close with 5 laps to go. Ben will be pushing his absolute might to it. Surely he's got to have that motivation that he can win this. I'm just going to run aboard. Ben's getting very optimistic. Right on board with his stream, Ben is getting very optimistic here. And now, Josh picks up a penalty. How pivotal is that going to be? 1.5 is the next guy ahead and 3 seconds. So it doesn't look like he'll be losing any positions. Unless that's the second penalty actually. Let's have a look. Josh, is that his second? That is his, oh wow, it's his second actually, yeah. So Josh now, he's now vulnerable for a man like Donkey. If Donkey does not have a penalty. It looks like King David slowed down there for a second. Now look at this. Ben is almost in the DRS of Ahmed then. Seems like those younger tyres have really played well for the Haas driver then. Gap's under a second now. He won't have the DRS this time around. It's just around that second gap as Brent comes in and getting raring to set the first lap of the race then, as he looks like he won't be getting any kind of points here today, will the McLaren driver. So Ahmed out in front, 1.1 seconds ahead. Hasn't been confidence galore for the Alpha driver in the past few laps then. He's just trying to keep it alive then, keep his hopes of the P1 alive. It's going to be close up top, 9/10 in it with 5 laps to go, including this one. It's just going to be like a little sprint race now, 7/10 to gap. Ben is closing oh so quickly. He's going to be... Here we go then. Oh no, Ben seems to be really riding the curbs there. 4/10 of a second now. Ben is really on the back and looking to take the win away here. So now Ben, 7/10 is in it. 7/10. And now Ben loses a bit of time out of the spoon down the straight then. This drag his head up, not helping him potentially, but now this is his first lap of DRS and he's going to be loving that. They can now activate that then. He's got the DRS open and that will bring him just ever so much closer to the back of Ahmed then. Will it be the race win for Ben? We're still going to keep an eye on this then. That rhymed. Lurch as well then on the back of Jazzy Jeff. That gap's only 7/10 of a second as well. Brent as well will be looking for the fast lap of the race. He'll be wanting something out of this one as well. As we're right on board with Brent now. He's going to be closing up towards Ben. This may really not help Ben in the slightest, and his charge is up towards Ahmed then. The gap's around a second. And look at this, Brent is really cutting every corner to try and make the most out of his lap then. 8/10 a gap. Up front, Lurch only 4/10 in behind Jazzy Jeff. This is the closest battle at the moment on track. It's between a Haas and a Ferrari. Out front is between a Haas and an Alpha. This Ferrari of Lurch, so looking very, very close. And surely before long, we'll get the move done on Jazzy Jeff then. Lurch obviously having a bad qualifying, not getting to the line in time then. So this is chance to prove the doubters wrong then. Can he get a move done with 3.5 laps to go in this race then? At the top, look how close that gap is now. It's only 4/10 of a second down into the Casio triangle. This could be the lap where the lead does change. Oh, he's lost a little bit of time out of the Casio triangle as Brent goes into some fast lap for the race then. Well done, Brent, you've done that one. But now it's going to be really interesting. Is Ahmed going to keep the lead there? He's got 3 laps. It's only 3 laps now. Ben is going to be absolutely pushing to his wits end to get the win here today then. It's going to be a Felipe Massa situation. He's going to do all that he needs to do. But it seems like King David is just going to have enough points to his name to make it his, and unless obviously he does have a spin on this final few laps then, which I'd not expect considering how consistent he's been this race then. So Ben then coming through. 4 tenths, still the gap. Lurch Day still 3 tenths behind just Jazzy Jeff. And now look at this, he's getting very close to the back of Ahmed. Ahmed not using any EOS there at all. They're both on around the same EOS now, as a certain Brent will be trying to get through them, as that will really put a spanner into the works. I think Brent probably just needs to back off this lot, and it's not helping any of them. As now Ben, only 2 tenths is the gap, surely down into the Casio potentially. He may get the move done. The Haas driver now may be looking, is now down into the braking zone of the Casio triangle. Will this be a move for the race win then? Ben with only a few laps to go. There's only 2 laps left in it, and it's a race lead then. Excuse me, Jeff. So, oh, look at that. Look how close it is. So welcome everyone who's just joined the stream then. Look at this battle for the race win then. Shabby thought Jeff was going to win. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what Shabby was saying there. Excuse me, I didn't see his comment. As now Ben getting close. But he's just not close enough this lap, it looks like. He's just not going to get it done. He's not going to get the move done. Brent as well will have a perfect view of this one, as I don't think he just doesn't want to get involved in anything. He's now coming down into the braking zone of the hairpin. Ahmed just trying to hold on with all his might. Then as Maggot heads into the pits for the softs, and he's got a 5-second stop go as he heads onto his 26th lap of the race then. Just having a look at the gap at the top, it's 3 tenths of a second. That is very close between Ben and Ahmed then. Look at them two. Ben, the dark horse. Well, you wouldn't really say that, but more the dark painted livery. And now look how close he is. Surely he's going to make a move down into the Casio triangle. Ahmed goes to the outside. There's contact. Oh, Ben is round. Oh, massive crash. Ben's going to be absolutely... Oh, Ben's going to hate it. I'm going to hear Ben's live reaction then. And Ben's lost it. Ben's lost it and he's annoyed. He could be out of a podium actually, you know. So Ben says that was crazy. Obviously lap 27 incidents. Now he's going to hold on to P3. He may not even get a podium in this race. King David could beat him. Obviously he's got that time penalty. Obviously I assume will be taken off. But wow, what an end to this race. I don't even think Ben actually got damage from that though. As we got live footage which said that was crazy from him then. He got Jeroen. Good one, Jeroen. As now the gap's only what, 2.5. Ben is not going to get a podium here. I think I still may invite him anyway to the podium interviews because he will get that penalty removed. But oh my god, Ben may not get a podium here. I don't think Phil has a penalty. Let's have a look really quickly then. Phil does not have a penalty. Neither does King David. So it looks like this is Ben's race to lose. Oh my god. So anyway, out of the final 2 corners then, controversially, Ahmed does take the checkered flag in Suzuka then. P2 on track will be Ben, but under penalties. I feel like, yeah, there you go. Ben will be down to P4 and he'll be gutted with that one. I'm sure he'll be able to get that removed though. So I invite the top 4 to the podium interviews then, with Jazzy Jeff finishing P5, P6 goes to Dos Josh, P7 Lurch Day, P8 Man Like Donkey, P9 goes to Monkey Meg when he crosses the line. And my god, he won't be happy with that one. As now Monkey Meg comes to the line then. As yeah, Jazzy Jeff actually got past Jeff. What happened to Lurch? I did not pick that up. What happened to Lurch? Did I miss something with Lurch? Oh, I'm really sorry if I did. Oh. So, Monkey Meg finishes P9. Maggot, will he be on for the fast lap of the race? At the moment, it is a 30.8 then. It's basically qualifying all over again. Maggot had a good qualifying then. Would he beat Brent's lap then? It was a 30.8. Up to line, it's going to be a 30.3. Maggot steals the fast lap, so gets 2 points to his name. And doesn't look like Brent is going to beat that one. So, at the end of your season, we've got Ahmed taking the top step today. Controversially, that'll be to a steward's decision, I assume. And King David is your championship winner. King David did all he needed to do. Finished P2, 18 points to his name. P2, obviously, probably P3 after penalties, as Ben will be very annoyed about that one. But there he is on the top step of the podium. Ahmed takes the race win from, I believe, P5 on the grid. A good race from him, except for that controversial accident on lap 26. A very good race from the man. As now he sprays that champagne. P2, King David. P3 is Phil. So we will invite the top three, but I'll invite the top four to the podium interviews. And there we go then. The podium interview, the podium is Ahmed, followed by King David, followed by here we go then. So, end of the Asia Cup. Ahmed in P1, P2 goes to King David, P3 is Phil's, P4 goes to Ben. Obviously, that'll be taken off probably due to a penalty. P5, Jesse Jeff. P6 will be Dosh Josh. P7, Lurch Day. P8, Manline Donkey. P9, Monkey Meg. P10, Mag with a fast lap as well. P11, Brent. And P12 will be Bosmot. But I'm just going to invite the top three plus Ben for the podium interviews then. As now then, I'm just going to send invites to the top three. So I'm just invite the top three for the podium then. So I'm just going to invite Ahmed. Hopefully his name comes up. There you go. Ahmed comes up. And then it'll be Phil. And Phil's a friend. And then also we have a certain... Oh, hello Ben. I'm just going to invite the others as well then. And then it's King David as well. There's King David as well. So I've invited the top three for the podium interviews. Ben, make sure your voice is on always allowed. My mic is broken, so King David can't join. But hopefully Ahmed and also Phil can join. No mic for Ahmed. So is Phil around for an interview? Go on, Phil. Okay, so it's just gonna be Phil and Ben here today. So Ahmed, the race winner, can't join us today. So let's be real here. The person who will finish P2 on the podium after that penalty does get removed is going to be Ben. So a good race from you. Obviously, controversy on lap 26. I did actually find your stream actually, and you said, I think something along the lines of it's not over, like you still got laps to go and all that kind of stuff. You were motivated towards the end of the race, closing so much down to Ahmed at the end of the race. He must have been gutted when that incident happened then. But all in all, probably going to be P2 after a steward's review then. And yeah, how was that race for you? Yeah, obviously, yeah, P2 in the season, a very good ending. Obviously, realistically getting P2 as yeah. So, what was your ideas of going long on the softs then? Well, yeah, obviously, it was a good call, but obviously you did come out into the same position. But all in all, some very good battles. Obviously, so what was your mentality coming into the last like 10 laps of the race? Did you think that you could have taken it from, what, 3 seconds behind, 4 seconds? Did you feel like you had the pace? Well, yeah, obviously a controversy, but yeah, obviously, I'd be surprised if you don't get that P2. But well done on those 18 points. Sadly, it wasn't enough to win the championship. King David does take that, but constructors, I believe you've got. So well done on that one, and well done. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for joining the podium interviews. And P3 potentially P4. Phil.
What do you mean P3, P4?
No. Well, you're gonna get you're P3 at the moment, but Ben could get his penalty removed, so you could be P4.
Not than that.
Anyway, Phil, a pretty good race from you today. Honestly, I did not catch most of it because I was looking at the battle at the top. But please, can you describe your race for us today?
Boring, absolutely boring. Well, best at rest. I couldn't catch them, and others couldn't catch me. So I did what I could.
Yeah. So what? So who do you think was going to be your main battler? Who do you think? Do you think Bosmots could have been a challenge for you today? Obviously,
to be fair, he'd have been faster than me because he wasn't medium. So I think he'd have been challenging up there for win.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
But it don't help with the foot that I have got now. I can't really feel brake pedal properly. So.
Alright. What were your thoughts when I assume you probably saw Ben spin then. What were your thoughts on that one?
I didn't see anyone spin. All I seen was King David, and I thought he'd slowed down for some reason or lost it. And I thought he was coming up to a back marker. And then when I got to the hairpin, I realised it was them two. I'm like, wow, what's happened here? So I didn't really see anything. I just thought King David might have lost it.
Yeah. So, obviously, just a bit of confusion, so just everything happening for you today, Phil. Anything else to add?
No, it's just, I wish I could have had a better season. Well done to everyone for coming where they did. Hope to do better next season.
Well, yeah, obviously next season will be on the F1 2020 game. Came out today. The actual version comes out on Friday. I'm sure you two will be getting your hands on that as soon as possible.
I have got it.
Ben, I assume you'll be getting it as well.
It will be down.
Yeah, I haven't even
downloaded in a minute.
I haven't even bought it yet. So thank you everyone so much for watching. That is the last race of C3 of the Asia Cup. Then